Hey there, wonderful world of social media. Yours truly, Jimmy Williams. I'm back again with another great and informative video. I hope you guys are doing well and feeling well and excited. If you're not smiling today, put a smile on your face, okay? I had to do this video. It was an emergency that I get this video done. It's been in my spirit for a long time to do it, and it's talking about domestic violence. The reason I'm bringing this message forth is I've been seeing a lot of men being, disrespectful to women. I see it in the country. I see it on social media. I see it in movies. It's become a normal thing, and it's out of hand now. And me as a strong man, I call myself an alpha black man. You guys know what alpha and beta is, the differences. And that's no disrespect to beta men. I'm just saying I'm one of those guys that if I see something wrong, I'm going to take action. I'm going to say something. I may be passive sometime. I may sit back and you may not hear me say much. But when it comes to domestic violence, I am an advocate of, justice being served, because I don't think any woman on this planet deserves to be abused and disrespected, dishonored. That's from women all the way down to children. We as men, and some people may not believe this, but men, according to the Bible, to the word of the Most High God, we are called to lead and cover women and to respect them. And so before I get into the word, because I got to give a scripture on this, my biggest inspiration for this is one of my great spiritual mothers. She's powerful, very, very humble, but powerful at the same time. Her name is Dr. Apostle Pamela Hill out of Tampa Bay, Florida. Again, her name is Pamela Hill, okay? And I got some information on her back here with her ministry and everything and how you guys can be a part of what she's doing. But she's my greatest inspiration for this. I have tons of other spiritual mothers, so no disrespect to all of you. I have a spiritual mother in Orlando. Her name is Paula Johnson. And I have many, many other spiritual, women in my life that I look up to as mentors. And my biological mother, her name is Alberta Hampton. So, Mom, if you see this, I love you. No shade to you, but I had to call attention to this thing. And the woman that I look up to with how she's organized her ministry and her vision and her passion is Dr. Pamela Hill. But let me talk about us men for a moment. Scripture reference, even if you don't believe in the Bible, pick up the Bible and read this. Go to Ephesians chapter 5. You want to start down, read the whole chapter. But when it gets to verse 28, take note of what that talks about. It talks about a man, Paul the Apostle, Shaul in the Hebrew. He says that no man who loves himself will abuse himself or will hurt himself. You're not going to beat up on yourself. So if you love your wife, if you love your wife and respect her, she's a part of you. So if you love her and you don't abuse her, you actually love yourself. And the reason men abuse women physically and emotionally, in most cases, is because there's something about their insecurities of themselves. And I'm calling attention to it because nobody talks about it. I see it everywhere. I see this disrespect for women, putting them down and physically hitting them or physically trying to control them and manipulate them or scare them, scare tactics. Domestic violence is straight up wrong, and it's not a kingdom principle. Let me speak to the Hebrew community for a moment, because you have the Christian community over here, you have the Hebrews. When I say that, I mean the Hebrews are waking up. Okay, so in the Hebrew community, some of them, and I don't subscribe to this personally, some of them have multiple wives in this country. I'm not sure how legal it is, but they do it, especially overseas in other countries. They have several wives, and they have those wives, and they don't really treat them fairly. They treat them like a piece of property. And I'm the persuasion that that's not right. All right? That wasn't the initial plan. So if you look at Adam and Eve in the Bible, in Genesis, Adam had one wife. He left and, the Father created him, woke him up, took the rib, made Eve from the rib. They became one flesh. Right? So if they're one flesh, they love each other. They don't abuse each other because they're one flesh. So when a man puts his hands on a woman and disrespects her in any way, that's not honoring Yahuwah, the Father. It's a horrible thing. So what are we going to do about that? What I propose is to find ministries. If you're listening to me, find other ministries that support domestic violence. That's what you got to do. Get yourself involved with other ministries that actually speak out against and advocate to help the women that are in those situations, those women and children that are in those vulnerable situations. That's what I recommend that you do. And support them financially. Support them with your prayers of support, and get involved and volunteer and do something. We have to do something. Just like with racism, we have to do something, with disrespect of people who don't believe like us, and they get persecuted. We have to do something. We have to stand up and help those people. Sometimes they can't help themselves, right? When you're on a job and you see somebody that just started and they don't know the system yet, and the boss comes and treats them bad, it's your job to say, you know what, go to management and say, hey, listen, this person over here is treating this person bad, because sometimes people can't fight for themselves. That's what we have to do. That's how serious we must be about domestic violence, and take action and do something while we have time. We can't wait until tomorrow, because that woman could get killed in that situation. And if we have a moral conscience, like Dr. King talks so much about, we have to use what we have, our resources, everything that's in our pockets or in our minds or in our spirits that's going to move this domestic violence conversation in the right direction. With that being said, let me just go over what she does, Dr. Pamela Hill. Her ministry's name is, is Psalm27 Foundation. The website is .org. Let me say that again. Psalm27.org. That's PSALM 27 Foundation, which is FOUNDATION.org. So the first thing I'm going to tell you guys to do is to put this in your phones, look it up in your phones or on your laptops, visit her website, browse it, see what her vision is all about, and find out exactly what, discover in your heart what you feel you're led to do to help. Okay, because this is very, very serious. So go there, take a look at it. Again, it's Dr. Pamela Hill, okay? She's the founder, and she's an apostle, amazing apostle, visionary from the Most High Yah, okay? Here's what her ministry focuses on. They focus on empowerment of education. They bring awareness to individuals that are affected by this horrible dishonor and disrespect of women. It's called domestic violence. They help those people get out of those situations, all right? And they help other people who are not in those situations. They help them to be watchful so they don't get involved in a bad relationship with a man that might kill them or may hurt them bad. And, the worst kind of killing sometimes is not physical. It's spiritual and mental. And they help prevent that, okay? So, again, it's an empowerment ministry that educates, brings awareness to individuals about harmful effects of domestic violence. Also, they provide community resources, okay? So basically, when you give into this ministry, to what she's doing here, they're going to take physical resources, sometimes in the forms of money, food, clothing, shelter, because this ministry is still in I would say, probably the beginning stages still. Okay, it's been around a long time, but as far as the support hasn't been there. It takes money, it takes several things to make a ministry run successfully, to be able to help the common person who's going through something. So with that being said, we need to really help her get this thing going, okay? Not just her, but her entire team, all right? So yeah, they help single families, not single families, pardon me, I'm thinking of real estate. They help families, whether they're big families or, whether it's just a single mother with 5 kids or a single woman that's just going through, issues, all right? Or she needs some help. Also, they help ministries as well. So, as a nonprofit, they help other ministries as well. Let's say, they go down and, because they're in the Tampa area, it's a huge population down there. Let's say they see a small church over here and has abused women there and they need help. Her ministry will pour her resources from her ministry into that local church or even a business, if it's a minority-owned business or, it's a business owned by a woman and that woman is experiencing sexism or racism, those kind of things. As long as it goes back to women being abused, they will participate and help. But it has to be in those areas, okay? Or just, there's a lot of women out there that have a story. They've been beat so bad and they won't talk about it. They're afraid. Well, what she does is, they contact them, they talk to them, and they get them to talk and tell their story. Sometimes women just need to be heard. We have, as men, as strong men, I'm talking to the men now, we have to advocate for them and help them move forward in life. Give them the voice that the Most High already gave them and let them be who they are. We have to be strong. I will tell you this one last thing before I go. I never, ever, ever saw my father or my grandfather be abusive to their spouses. When I say abusive, I mean they got in some arguments, but physically to put their hands on a woman, never saw it. My father and mother were married until the day he passed in 2014. They were together. My grandfather and grandmother were together maybe 60 years. They had 17 kids together, and they raised those kids with integrity. And I never physically saw either my father or him. My grandfather was my master mentor. He taught me how to be a businessman. He taught me the mindset of entrepreneurship. But he taught me the ways of the Most High Yah. He taught me how to fear Yah, or God, right? And I saw how he treated his wife with respect. What does the Bible say, guys? Same chapter where I just talked about, Ephesians chapter 5. Men ought to love their wives, right? As Christ or Yahushua HaMashiach loved the church or his body and gave himself for it. You guys can't tell me how much you love women and you're very abusive and you won't fight for your wife and you won't stand up for her and you're abusing her. That won't work. We have to, as men, be vocal and say something about this. If we don't, it keeps happening and happening. And when we stand before the Most High, we're going to be accountable for what we know and what we have not done. Dr. Pamela Hill, Apostle Hill, has an amazing vision, and I'm asking each and every one of you to support her. I'm going to put the link to her website in the description. You'll see it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you see you guys follow me. Go and please support her. All right? Her contact information is there. Her team is waiting to hear from you, and if you need to, speak with her or something like that, shoot them an email and see if she'll set up a phone call with you so you can kind of get a better understanding of what they actually do. I just told this is just a bullet point, the bullet points of what they do, but this is something that's very, very special. This is something that cannot be, we cannot sit back and procrastinate. The time to act is right now. As I always say, guys, I'll see you at the top because we'll get there together. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.